Hi, everyone. It's us again, the women of We Are Listening. Hope everyone has been having a wonderful time. We are counting down the year. Can you believe it? To
No.
our first time viewers, I'm Cassandra. I'm one of the directors and mentors for We Are Listening.
Hello, my name is Vinay. I am the founder and president of We Are Listening.
Hello, Antoinette, co-founder and mentor here at We Are Listening, and we are happy that you have joined us today. No, Kat,
Yes,
that it is December, end of the year. Like, what happened? Everything just happened so quickly. I think that this was the first year that stuff kind of felt kind of normal again after COVID.
Yeah.
COVID
yes.
so slowly, and it was like this big old fog. So when this year came and the world opened up, it was just like, and it's like, bam, it's already the end
We
of the
hit
year.
the we hit the ground running.
Af-
People were going back to work, back to school. Venues were opening back up. People were going to concerts and parties and
Mm,
trying to live life again.
feels good.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
There
it
was a
felt
lot
good
going on.
to feel, normal, like because the
It
past 2 years
did.
has
yeah.
been just, it was
It did.
really
It did. And
sad.
Hmm.
although the year went quickly, I am sure there are certain things that stick out in everyone's minds, like, that I'll definitely remember that, and I'll remember that, and oh wow, remember when we did that? So, what are some of the things that throughout these 300 and how many days we've gone through so far? What are some of the things that you remember? Some of the things that you want to kind of stick a pin in as lessons learned for
Mm.
2022?
I think, oh, I think, and I'm
Go ahead,
speaking
Vinay.
right now. I feel like I'm a student in school. Oh, I know the answer. I think I'm speaking for everybody, and then of course when we come back around, I'll say one personally. But I think for a lot of people, like treasuring like your family and your friends, and spending that time became so important. Not just this year, but over the past couple of years. Like it
Mhm,
became
mhm.
Yeah.
like people in the forefront of everybody's mind because COVID, that whole pandemic, made it, you know, a necessity to make sure you keep your family and friends, in the forefront of your life because life is so short. It really just made everybody realize life is so short. So,
Yeah.
not necessarily
Yeah.
for 2022, but I think it continues on from 2020 and 21 that I want to
Mhm.
make sure I spend a lot of time with my family and friends, make sure they're a priority. I mean, did you guys feel that way? Did you feel like
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I moved back states so I can be closer to my family during the
Mm.
pandemic. So definitely, I packed up my stuff and left. So
I did this.
definitely,
I did the same.
Okay.
yeah, it makes you reprioritize. So
Yes.
that could be a lesson: learning to reprioritize
Right.
certain things. All of a sudden, the balance is like, yeah, it's not that
Yes.
important anymore.
Right.
So
Exactly.
So that could be a lesson for 2022,
Hmm.
learning to reprioritize.
Yes.
I know for me, one of the lessons I learned was sometimes you have to step out on faith and say yes to certain things. You think, well, I'm not capable. I can't do that. But you never know what you can do unless you actually have to do it. So
Right.
I got asked to coach, not even coach your chair, sorority conference, and I was
Nice.
like, Lord have mercy. What kind of? But I said yes, and it was stressful,
Mm-hmm.
but I learned that I could do it. I could take on something like this, and I could lead a team. All these different, you know, committees, and everybody's looking to you for answers. And I learned, you know what? I can do it. So
That's
learning to say yes sometimes, don't doubt yourself. Trust in your skills. So
mm-hmm.
that was one of the lessons that I learned for 2022.
That's a good
Yes.
lesson.
Yes.
Kind of, it's kind of, let me try to make it tie in, but for me it was more of just becoming aware, more self-aware about certain things of myself. I think during that time of COVID we had more time to really sit and think, and as a result of that, I learned that I had this habit of over explaining in
Mm.
every situation, like at work, on, you know, a conversation with my best friend. Like I could miss a call and I'll call back and be like, sorry, I didn't get a chance to talk to you. I had to go take out the trash. And then when I got to the trash, the thing was full. So I had to call the, and I just start, and I used to think that that was just something that I did, that it was a personality trait. But in this path of trying to become more aware and in going to therapy, I found out that that was actually based on, you know, some traumatic experiences that I have, you know, been through in my life. And I didn't know that those two were related. It's referred to as fawning. And when you've experienced a certain amount of abandonment or rejection, that is can be the result, that the result of that can be that you be someone that over explain things, and I had no idea. And
Mm.
feels good when you can put a name on something and you become aware of it. And now I'm like, you know what, this isn't just who I am. I became this as a result of what happened to me, and because I'm in the path of trying to heal, now I can work towards that. So that
Right.
was a huge lesson for me. Yeah, that was
I
a
can attest to that because there were many times that Antoinette and I were on the phone and she would get a phone call that she needed to take. And she spent 5 minutes explaining to me why she had to take the call, who it was, what it was about. You know, I was like, did that
And
person
by that
hang
time,
up
they
on
hung
her?
up.
Right, you know. But I mean, I can attest to that. Exactly what she definitely used to do. I definitely see her working on it, you know, and trying to not over explain. I think in some instances you would naturally explain. So I want Antoinette you to understand that too. Even without a traumatic experience, sometimes there are situations where you should explain. I mean, like if I just hang up on you and I call you back, it's like, oh, girl, I'm so sorry. It was my doctor calling. I just had to click over. It was ringing 3 times.
right,
You were talking, you know,
right.
and I had to like click over, you know. So there are times when you may have to explain, but when you feel that you have to over explain when
Mm.
you used to explain yourself, you were stressed too. Like you
Yes,
had to like explain what
yes,
happened before, you know,
yes,
somebody felt away or, you know, that kind of thing. But I definitely see you working on it now because you just be like, girl, I got to call you back. Okay.
yes. It
Yay! Progress.
feels weird. It feels weird because it's just so against what I do. And even in my day job, I was speaking to my manager, and the type of work that I do, my calls are monitored. And I have an issue with what they call average handling time, which means I talk for a long time on the phone versus other people. And part of that is because someone will ask me a question, and instead of me saying, yes, you know, blah, 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 I'm like, yes, because da, 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 and I go be and give this entire history,
Yeah,
and I don't have to.
right.
So, you know, it's good to be on a path. It's good
Yeah.
there. I love that. Yeah.
And I would say I'm going to
Yes.
piggyback off of Cass, but mine is actually the opposite of hers. Like learning to say no, you know, like you take
Mm,
on more than you can chew. Like I love the fact that Cass said, you know, try new things, say yes, try to do other things, but don't lose yourself in the process.
right.
So if
Yes.
you're overwhelmed, you have too much going on, and I've
Mhm.
had opportunities knock on my door that were significant, but I just knew I did not have the capacity to handle
Mm,
that with everything else that I have going on. So
right.
instead of having to quit later, you know, or starting it and then, you know, being overwhelmed because I obligated myself, I,
Hmm.
I've learned to say no to
Yeah.
things that I can't manage. You just can't manage
Mm-hmm.
everything. You have to say no. So, yes, like Cass said, say yes to
Within
new
reason. Say
opportunities.
yes within reason.
Right, but
Yes.
you can't pour from an empty cup. You've heard us say that all the time. So if
Yeah.
it's something
Mm.
that's too much, too crazed, you have to say no for
That's
your
gonna
own mental health.
that's gonna be my lesson for 2023. One lesson at a time.
All right, we're gonna have
She's
this
like,
same
done. I got
conversation.
my lesson ready for 2023. Finish. Boop.
Yes. And I think, one other thing really quickly, before we wrap it up, unless you ladies have something else to share, but I was going to say, don't forget that quality is more important than quantity. It's okay
Yeah.
not have 50 friends. It's okay to not have 20 jobs. We need multiple sources of income, don't get me
Right,
wrong,
right.
but have quality over quantity. I
Mhm.
learned also is
Mm-hmm.
okay because I'm just a friendly person. I have so many people, that I'm friends with or that we click and we have some type of relationship or whatever.
Right.
But you have to realize too that again, you have to be able to balance that. So it's okay to just have quality over quantity, keep certain people in your circle, that you can, it has to be manageable because you have to be able to share your
Yeah.
time with your friends as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Now I want
really
to say, oh, sorry,
no.
go ahead,
Go ahead.
Aunt.
Oh, you go. You go.
So I was actually gonna, kind of dig into what Aunt said about therapy, because
Mhm.
I also started therapy, and I will say that it took me a little while to find a good therapist because this is someone that you're pouring your heart out to. So you want to be able to have a connection with them. So for me, my, requirement was I wanted a Black woman therapist.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I wanted someone that I could,
To
just be
relate.
open with,
Yeah.
exactly, to relate to. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about therapy in another vlog, but I do want to say therapy is chef's kiss. You can find
Ab-
a good therapist.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this is a good conversation. I hope those of you that logged on were able to benefit from some of the lessons that we learned, whether it's saying no appropriately, saying yes to the things that you fear, taking chances, becoming more aware, like myself, of those things that you may be going through or behave or ways that you behave, and recognizing sometimes it's not a personality trait. Sometimes you are reacting based off of things that have happened to you, and taking advantage of resources like therapy or mentoring, things of that nature, help you come to a place where you can recognize that. Or you can just log on to our sites and listen to our lessons. But we really appreciate you logging on. You can always go to us. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are listening,
TikTok,
TikTok,
Facebook,
Twitter.
Snapchat.
all of that. So we look forward to next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a good day.
Yes. And
And
one
you
other
can
one
even tell us what lessons you all learned in
Yeah.
2022 in the
Thank
comments.
you. I was just about to say, make sure you grab your journal and
Great
either
minds,
write them
great
out
minds.
personally and write out 2022 lessons I've learned, what I'm going to take into 2023, or you
Yeah.
can go in the comments and let us know in the comments. We love
There
that.
you go. That's right. All right.
Have a great day,
All right.
guys.
Have a
Good
great
to
one,
see you,
everyone.
ladies. Bye.
Bye.